All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great session with the presidential candidate of the fictional Common Sense People's Party. Now, 9 months after the presidential election, discussions are still going on over the conduct of that elections. Many political commentators and paid actors have tried to get Nigerians to forget about the crookedness of INEC and accept the Tinubu administration wholeheartedly. But that appears as if it is never going to happen. And to make matters worse for this administration, we began to see prominent Nigerians coming out to publicly criticize the shameful, disgraceful, and criminal conduct of INEC during the presidential election, months after the elections have been concluded. But nothing can be as bad as APC members themselves coming out to say that APC rigged the 2023 presidential election. And that is what is beginning to happen now. An APC member, a prominent one for that matter, came out and said INEC has been bought over by the APC. But before I show you how he said it and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video that proves us right when we say the consequences of corruption will touch everybody. The people of Kano are now being denied a man they voted for as governor in favor of an unpopular APC candidate. Now, this is the Muslim ticket they all clamored for. But look at the ticket now, denying them of their rights. Listen to Governor Abba Yusuf of Kano lamenting that despite all the evidence presented before the court, they nullified his election and declared the APC candidate the winner. Listen to the governor.
The Governorship Election Tribunal issued a remote judgment purporting to cancel the mandate given to us by the good people of Kano State. We assembled a team of lawyers that filed appeals and requested the appellate court to set aside the judgment of the tribunal for lacking in merit. Unfortunately, the Court of Appeal has today delivered another miscarriage of justice on the flimsy ground that the APC is contesting my membership of the NNPP, despite the overwhelming evidence presented before the courts about the genuineness of my membership. I want to inform the good people of Kano State, and indeed all well-meaning Nigerians, that based on the consensus of our stakeholders, we have instructed our lawyers to commence the process of appealing this judgment at the Supreme Court of Nigeria. We are optimistic that the Supreme Court will, by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, set aside these miscarriages of justice by the tribunal and the appeal court and reaffirm our mandate given to us by the good people of Kano State. I therefore want to urge all the good people of Kano State to continue to go about their legitimate businesses unimpeded, as government has taken all necessary measures to ensure the security of lives and properties in the state. I want to assure you that this temporary setback will not deter us from continuing with all our projects and programs targeted at restoring the lost glory of our state. We shall continue to roll out more projects and programs to better the lots of the good people of our state. Fellow citizens of Kano State, in conclusion, I want to urge all well-meaning Nigerians to pray for Kano State and beseech Almighty Allah in His wisdom and mercy to save the state from injustice of mischief makers who are desperately scheming to hijack power through the back door and return the state to dark ages. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not allow this to happen. Thank you all, and God bless Kano State. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
You heard him. That was the governor of Kano, Governor Abba Yusuf, talking as if he was going to cry. We all know he's been robbed of an election he won landslide, but we have no pity for him. The same thing happened to us few weeks ago, and some of them were celebrating it in the name of Muslim ticket. You see, except Nigerians come together to fight this evil called APC, this country will never know justice, will never know true peace. Now, let us look at what this former APC minister said about APC and INEC's conduct of the 2023 elections. Look at how the papers reported it. Supreme Court's decision puts Nigeria's electoral justice at the mercy of APC captured INEC, former minister. Former sports minister Solomon Dalong said that the ruling of the Supreme Court on the disputes from the 2023 presidential election set a crucial precedent in Nigeria's electoral framework, which puts clandestine relationships between politicians and chiefs of INEC as top requirements to win elections over the choice of electorates and popular democratic participation. Mr. Dalong, who served under former President Muhammadu Buhari between 2015 and 2019, said people who participate in the elections without befriending the Electoral Commission's chairman may not get justice. I'm busy trying to study, and I have been advising those who are interested in election to campaign in INEC's offices. Try to befriend Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, because anything outside this, you are not going to get justice, he said. This position, Mr. Dalong argues, has far-reaching implications for the integrity of the electoral process in ways that could potentially impede popular democracy in the country's governance and political system. Mr. Dalong stated that October 26 ruling, which affirmed President Bola Tinubu's administration, has reconfigured democracy. After the 2023 elections and the fireworks in the Supreme Court, of course, I am armed with the new jurisprudence of election in Nigeria, with the Supreme Court laid to rest by reconfiguring democracy, Mr. Dalong said, while addressing journalists at an event organized by the Hague Institute for Innovative Law recently in Abuja. He said that the ruling has granted significant policy and operational powers to the electoral body, which emphasizes INEC's power to establish rules for the conduct of elections and, in convenient instances, fraudulently overturn the rules mid-process if the results are perceived to be unfavorable to certain interests. With that landmark judgment, election in Nigeria now means INEC. So, if you want to contest elections in Nigeria, you have to lobby INEC. You have to go to INEC. That is the decision of the Supreme Court, that INEC, even if they make bylaws regulating elections, they will jettison it even at midnight and declare anybody, and you cannot hold them accountable, he said. I think politicians should study the judgment and understand that there is a radical departure from what is called elections in Nigeria. Mr. Dalong's remarks align with those of other prominent figures who have expressed criticism regarding the conduct and outcomes of the 2023 elections. A common point of the contention has been the deviation by the Independent National Electoral Commission from its initially stipulated rules and procedures for the polls. Key opposition parties, particularly the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and the Labour Party, contended during the tribunal proceedings that INEC had outlined procedures, including the electronic transmission of results, but refused to follow it, blindsiding some political parties and the majority of the electorate. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by Kent says, "This should be the last election with this INEC team. They all have to go." And this tweet right here says, "APC captured INEC and APC captured judiciary." Absolutely. That was what happened. And this tweet here says, "PDP started all this in a subtle way. But APC has thrown caution to the wind. I am telling you, APC, they are going all out. They are leaving nothing to the imagination. Look at what Yahya Bello did in Kogi State. This tweet by Justa says, the citizens must take the law into their own hands if that is what it will take to chase these criminals out of the country. I'm telling you. And I love the way Solomon Dalong put it. He left nothing to the imagination. He said it directly the way it is without mincing words. Make we know our problem. We can now decide whether to come all out and solve it, or we go allow these people to turn our country, Nigeria, to nonsense. Anyway, make I leave am here. Make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una na I dey here. So don't go away. Don't go.